What's going on, guys? Aiden Smith here with the Paint Your Path podcast. We got Joel Mercado in the house. He just held it
What's
down for
up?
the solo episode, so we appreciate him.
What up? What up? That
How you
was
doing,
fun.
bro?
Doing good, man. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Way better than last week. I believe I have COVID. I had COVID now because my wife has it now and my son. So what I was
Mm.
feeling, I think I got over it, but I think I passed it to them and they got it hit worse. So
Oh man.
it's coming back, bro. It's
Yeah,
back.
that's what, dude. Out here, they're saying like a new strain of it too, out in the West Coast. I'm like,
Mm.
man, y'all need to stay away from me.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that we kind of are just going to live with it from now on, right? It's kind of like ingrained in like
hmm
regular life. It's kind of like getting the flu or, you know,
Right, right.
I think that's kind of, what we're jumping into. But anyway, we got some good stuff for you guys today. We're going to talk about sales, some customer facing problems we see that, people deal with and how to go about that and really, get closer to your client in a different way so they feel
Yep.
comfortable giving you the business, thinking bigger, right? And we'll break that down and talk like what it looks like to break down metrics so that whenever
Mm.
you're looking and saying, "Oh, I want to do 1 million," like what does that really look like, and how far away from you, and is that even achievable, right?
Right,
Based
right.
on what you're doing right now.
Love it.
So yeah. So first off, I wanted to talk about kind of like getting into the deeper layers of sales because the more I coach guys and discover and ask more questions about what their process is like, or like when they go on a sale and we get back on a call and I say, "Hey, walk me through how that went." I feel like not many people are capable or have the right system or setup to get to like those deeper layers of the conversation,
Mm.
right? Because the best guys out there and the guys with the best closing ratio, right, 60, 65%, those guys are in real time doing negotiations on the spot, right?
100%. Mm-hmm.
It's like they present the number and then, okay, I know that you want to use us because I did all the sales properly. I went through every single step. I didn't skip anything. I discovered, I got the why. We both feel like we have a connection. You know, I'm going to do a great job. I customized it for you. Let's just get to the number we need to get to. That's like the deepest layer of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would say level one's like on the surface. Hey, I show up. How are you? Here's who I am. Here's your estimate, right? Most guys, it's, could you send me that via email? And then they leave, right?
Yes.
I'll stop there. What are your thoughts on that level?
Well, I think there's a couple things that happen. I think there's a lack of confidence, a lack of preparation, meaning they haven't trained enough to understand how to dig deeper,
Mm,
and a fear that pops up. So there's like those three are kind of intermixed. So when I say preparation, lack of preparation is they haven't role played enough or gone
true.
through enough conversations to continue to drive it down further. We call it drilling down. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Because it's like you can see it on people's faces the moment they're like, well, I just need to think about it, send me an email and a text. And some people just go, okay. Like you could just see it on their face versus
Boom.
going like, oh, okay, get it. But and then dig another question, right? So you can't take the surface questions because it's not going to get you very far. That's the cool part about being in front of the customer by watching their body language, and you can kind of see also how far can I keep digging. So I think that's important.
Yeah. No. And a lot of times, even though they say, hey, email it to me, they want to make a decision. They know
100%.
what number they want to be around. They have an idea of, okay, I want to go out of the three companies I got. I kind of want to go with the other one, maybe, right? So you really got to kind of break through that barrier of the smoke screen that the customer will put up
Mm-hmm.
because they're going
And
to
why
lie to
is
you.
it?
They'll
Right.
lie straight to your face,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's the second level, right? Finding the why. So a lot of questions that I teach on and that I tell people to ask is in the beginning, um, how long have you been at the property and
Mm-hmm.
why now, right? Those two questions are big in kind of just not only opening, the room for some rapport building and getting to know each other, but it really gives you an idea of motivations. So you can start thinking about what matters to them. Why are they in a rush? Is there a time constraint? Why did they
Mm-hmm.
decide to reach out to us specifically? What did they see in us, right? So now we're kind of figuring out, okay, they do want to go with us and we're able to appease their situation and come to that solution for them. Now it's getting to the price, right?
Yep.
So that's like level two when you kind of build some rapport, get an idea of why they, why you're there and what they want done. And then even at that, it's not enough to close the deal, right?
Yep.
I think that third level where we get to like the deeper, where the best sales people get to, and you go through it all the time on your role play with your calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys will literally talk price right then and there. Hey, if I can meet you in the middle, how does that sound? Or
Yes.
if you do this for me, we can do this for you. And does that sound like something you'd be willing to move forward with today? Boom. Those are the things that most salesmen, I'd say 99% of people that are listening to this call don't get to that point, right? So that's negotiation, underlying motivations, right? What they're really thinking behind the smoke screen, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
external factors. What's kind of hindering them from moving forward? Is it HOA? Is there a hang up with the spouse? Like, kind of talk me through what you think in that really deep layer.
Yeah, I think first things first, and I've been finding out more of this recently, is that people don't understand you should overcome all objections during your presentation, so that when you get at the end, it's really about, am I the right person for them or not? That's how I view it. And of course, I want everyone to choose us, right? I think we're the best, of course, right? Like that's how you should have that mindset, and it'll come off that way, right? Like when you're presenting. And here's a few things that you started off with. I loved how you started with is that you're just like, what? Why did you choose us? Like people forget to ask that question. When you said that, I smiled because it's like, why us? Oh, you guys have X amount of reviews. We saw this. You guys are the experts. We see this, blah, blah, blah. They're selling themselves just off that question on why did you choose us to come out? Right. So I love that you said that because a lot of people don't even ask that question. And there's things that I've noticed through role playing. When I role play with my teams and people on our community, the reason why I do it is because I want them to get rid of that verbiage. It's the how do I word it? It's like, you know how your tongue gets twisted because you haven't
Yeah.
said it enough or you haven't felt uncomfortable enough in that
Just
many
get flustered.
situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it because if I throw you off in front of 10 people, 15 people, how much preparation is that for you to be in front of one?
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So that's how I was taught in sales 20 years ago. I was put in a room and it was just like, you don't leave this room until you get these down the right way and get really comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think a lot of us, we tend to just want to walk away from that. And then we ignore what is being told to us too, right? Like, oh, that's what they said. That's what it needs to be. No, 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 no. They're just telling you that right now, but there's another decision after that, right? No different than spouse. That's my favorite thing when someone says, oh, my spouse, if their spouse isn't there, I'm like, great. I have 10 minutes that I have to make a couple phone calls real quick. If you don't mind, give them a call right now. I'll be more than happy to just come back in and see what they say. And then I wait and I
Boom.
watch, right? And the same thing, like you said, the if I will you framework too, which is like, if I can meet you in the middle, I'd be more than happy to move forward today if that works for you. Like a lot of people will just give a discount, but they still didn't get a commitment. And then they're going to use your discount with another discount
Exactly.
and another person, right? I want you to commit today. And my
Mm.
job is for you to say yes. Once you commit, then I'll negotiate. And that's the other thing I think a lot of guys do is they skip it and then they don't have anything to work off of. Like, I have no problem with first visit incentives, but use that as your back pocket. Like, don't say the first visit incentive first. Be like, hey, I'm willing to help you out. We have a couple programs that we do help our customers with. Would you be interested in hearing about those things? Get them to say yes, because boom, now you're getting a commitment. Now here's the next commitment is, well, if I can meet you in the middle or if I can meet you at this price, will you see yourself moving forward? You already know the gap already. You already know the answer to that because you've practiced this enough. Then they say yes to that, done.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. Then you could be like, well, we have a first visit incentive. It's this. We give you 10% off or whatever your guys' thing is. Whoever wants to use that, they can do that, or they can use like the marketing ambassador program. There's so many programs that you guys can create to say, if you do that today, this is how I can get you to that number.
Yeah.
Boom. It's a win-win. That's the next level to this.
It's an exchange of value, right?
100%.
And it's not showing your cards, before you have the deal, right?
Yes.
Guys,
Wow. I like how you said that.
if you could do one thing, guys, just take your, finger and draw this back about a minute and just re-listen to that. Because that was gold. I'm sitting there just like relaxing, just thinking this guy is spitting game. Because it's all so true. This is all stuff that guys are afraid to say, get too flustered, don't practice, don't feel confident in. It's like they
Mm-hmm.
think they're a sleazy salesman. Oh, well, I don't want to be a used car salesman and force my client into doing something. Well, then they're going to go with the competition,
Yes.
and you're not going to get the deal where you would have done an amazing job had you had just give them a little bit more options, talked a little bit more through to them, and gave them a breakdown of kind of where you're at and why you have to be where you're at price wise, right?
100%, dude.
You're saying, okay, yeah, I'll leave. I'll send this to you, and then you can hit me up whenever you want. And in the meantime, they're calling this other company, and the other company's like, well, we can work with you because we have an ambassadors program. Here's what it looks like. It'll 300 off. They just did what you didn't want to do, right?
Mm-hmm. They're
So
going to, yes.
it's so funny
Yeah.
because, if you're not willing to adapt and get better at this and really kind of force yourself to sit in the pocket just a little bit more, right,
Mm-hmm.
and get used to it. Let's just say in 3 sales you don't land it, but you attempted it. That one sale that you get it and then it feels like natural, it doesn't feel forced, and it feels like you've been doing this for years. That's a part of your company. You're going to be like, this changes everything. I
Yes.
see it all the time. It's the lack of commitment, the lack of preparation, and the lack of just writing it down, right? All the
Mm-hmm.
things you just kind of outlined there are all things that you've written down somewhere. You've went over with somebody and talked through, and now it's ingrained in your head, right? We didn't
Yep.
script this beforehand. These are all things that you've done so much that now it's stuck with you, and you can pull out like a tool at any given time. That's what separates a good and a great salesman, right?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the craziest part when I've been doing the same thing for 20 years and I just transfer it into a different business. So
Yeah.
whether it's cars, whether it's the gym, whether it's painting, whether it's HVAC, doesn't matter. It's still the same. You're just utilizing it in a different type of product or a different type of service, but you're still asking the same questions.
Mm-hmm.
So like now it becomes second nature. And I teach people, I go, listen, guys, it should become your identity. Because when you get that good at asking the right questions, you become this person. And now you feel natural with it. You're like,
Yeah.
it's just what I do. I ask and I drill down, and it's just my natural state. I feel comfortable doing it. Why would I not do it? It's almost to the point you do the opposite. You start to question, why don't I do that?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like you practice that enough, it simplifies your whole process, and your people see it too.
It's better for all parties. And not only that, it's
Mm-hmm.
better for your business. Think
Yes.
about how much time you would save if you were to land the project right then and there, right? Come to an agreement, get it signed, get it scheduled, maybe talk colors, get ahead of the
Mm-hmm.
game. And then now, what do you do? The next hour, you're at another sale doing the same thing. The next. You do that for weeks on end. That's how you sell 2, 3, 4 million in a year as a
Yeah.
single sales rep. And a lot of guys don't think of it like that, right? Because they're worried about so many other things in the business, right? How can you focus solely on that sale when you have all these fires you got to put out with production and all
Mm-hmm.
these other things going on? You have to delegate that stuff and stay in your lane, which could be sales if you set it up the right way. And that's why this plus systems plus a competent team, you'll take over any industry, right? You'll
100%.
take over any market, any niche of painting, and you'll kill it. Simple as
Yep.
that. Don't
Yep.
overcomplicate it, right? Cool. Well, I love that segment, and I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I do want to move on. We have a couple stories we want to share with you guys, but really, we want to talk about kind of developing that relationship with the customer and really breaking the barrier between somebody that has somebody with some sales resistance, some
Mm-hmm.
defense up. They feel like you're coming in and selling them. How do you kind of get past that and ease them a little bit? Make them know that, hey, we're a trusted advisor, we're a friend, we can get to know each other. And I know Joel has a little story of something he just went through. So if you don't mind sharing with that with us, that'd be great.
Yeah. So I'll share the most recent thing, and it wasn't even, well, actually, I would say sell because we got change orders off of it. Um, my team, we have a start deposit that we do. So like in the state of California, you can only do 10% or up to 1,000. And then after that, you can do a payment schedule. So like once we start the project, we collect the other 40%. On start project. And my team told me that this lady said, no, I was advised that we were going to be able to pay this at the end of the project. So, my team was like, no, that's what she told me. And she's saying that the change orders are too expensive, this and that. So I decided to go out, right? And I met with her. The first thing I do is I introduce myself, right? I don't say, and by the way, a lot of people don't even know I own it. Like, I never use the owner card. In fact, I'm just a production manager when I come into people's homes. Hey, just so you know, my name is Joel. I'm the production manager. I'm just here to do a walkthrough with you. I never say owner because I don't want them to make decisions based off of a title, right? And as you guys know, I always teach about leadership. Well, leadership is influence. It's not a title. It's not a position. It's influence. So if I can influence you, the title doesn't even matter. I could say I'm the lead painter or helper. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're going to see that I carry myself as such. So I sit down with her. We start rapping, right? And I'm like, hey, where are you from? I noticed your accent. And she's like, oh, I'm from Kentucky. I was like, oh, I've never been. I really want to go. And I'm not lying. I genuinely have never been to Kentucky, and I love the accent. I would love to go check it out sometime. And she's like, where are you from? And then all of a sudden, my town, my accent started, as we started talking, my accent starts coming out. And she's like, where's your accent from? I'm like, oh, I'm from a small town called Quakertown, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. And she's like, oh my God. And here we are, right? We're just having fun, having a good time, just talking while my painters are painting. And the lead that I'm training right now is watching me. And he's just like, dude, like she just told you her whole life story. I'm like, yeah, she did. You've been here 2 days. You didn't know she had a son. You didn't know what she did for a living. She used to do antique restorations. So this lady knows about projects. She's in her 80s, right? And then the fun fact is like, she's like, oh, I need help with this things. What would that look like? So I already knew she was going to talk about budget. So I was going to originally charge $600 for this change order. I was like, hey, listen, since we're already here, we're going to do $400. She's like, is that the best price? I'm like, it is the best price. I was going to charge you $600. But because I like you, I'm going to do $400. And she starts laughing. She's like, okay, let's do it. Right. And then literally the next day I'm doing a home project. I see her at Home Depot. I take a photo with her. I send it to my team. They're super excited. And the other thing is I got the start check too. She's like, oh, I misunderstood. I got, yeah, let's go ahead and write your start deposit check. That is the importance of influence. Right. And I think what people do is the moment they hear no, it is an immediate scarcity. Oh, versus problem solving. That's why we have a freaking agreement that states the literal start payment on the agreement. There's a payment schedule option on DripJobs. It's literally there. And I've trained my team to use that. Why would you not pull that up? It's an immediate shutdown in the mind. My job is to prove to my guys, this is why we have a process, number one. And number two, this is how you learn how to influence.
Yeah.
Right. And then what do you think they do when they see me with a photo with her at Home Depot the next day? And guess what? Today, another change order. She didn't even question it, right? So it's like, I love preaching about this stuff because it's important that you have to have confidence and you have to follow your process. Your process is built for confidence. It's the process, right? So why would you not follow it? I don't know. It's wild, but I know you have a story too, so I can't wait to hear about it because it's like this is what the difference is, right?
Nah, dude, that's what it's all about, right? Like you said, right? It's not just oh no or no we can't or it doesn't work like that. It's okay, well let's figure something out to where we can work towards a solution together, right? If somebody feels that you aren't just I say this all the time with job price minimum. When I tell people, hey, you need a job price minimum, they think automatically as soon as somebody calls in and wants their front door done that they're just like, hey, sorry, can't do it. Just too small of a job. Have a great day. And it's like, oh my gosh, I want to choke myself out when I hear that. I'm like, you need to be working towards the solution, right? Hey, Karen, or Mrs. Smith, whatever. Hey, so we do have a job price minimum. I do want to let you know, but we'd be happy to take this job and appreciate you reaching out. Is there anything else you would want done? Or tell me more about the door. It might be a stained door project, right? Let's maybe get to that point, right? Let's figure out, let's discover a little more, and then we can make our decisions and we part ways if it doesn't work out, right? That's the problem solving you have to go through whenever you're dealing with production, estimating, and discovering, so you guys can be on the same page, right?
Dude, you just triggered something for me on that real fast. I'll say it real fast. So I don't know if I said this on one of our episodes, but same deal. When I first started Phoenix, there was a customer that wanted a rough estimate, and everyone on my whole team turned it down. And I was like, no, give me the call. Here I am in California. I'm talking to the guy. He's like, yeah, I'm the president of HOA. I was like, perfect. I was like, what do you need done? He's like, oh, they're just some retaining walls. My team shut down. They're just like, oh, it's just retaining walls.
Right.
Come to find out, 3 years later, okay, first things first, I fly out there. I do the estimate myself. The first estimate's $8,000. Then literally 2 to 3 months later, we
Wow.
get a $40,000 job off of it because they wanted us to paint 5 houses in the community. Then another year later, $120,000 to do the rest of the community. And then this past year, they hired us 2 more times. So think about the life of that if we just kept saying no to the retaining wall because
Right.
we didn't qualify them properly. Right. So you just
LTV.
triggered me on that because that's super important, man.
That's
Super
huge.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm training right now our sales rep on that because we're getting a lot of leads because we're spending a little more to keep everything going. And, we're getting a lot more leads, but they're not necessarily all good leads, right? And
Sure.
I think when you don't have too much coming in, you try and hold on as much as you can to these leads and squeeze them. But honestly, not every lead is going to be a great lead, right? So we
Yep.
have to weed through them, kind of make sure we're discovering a little more. And we got 2 separate leads, both bedrooms, 1 bedroom, walls only. And it's like, hey, I don't know if you guys do this, but we have a small job. Let's discover a little bit. Let's talk to them and let them
Yes.
know same thing I just explained. And who knows, maybe we can compromise just a tad if it's easy for us to do, like on a week, end of week, short week, something like that. Hey, we'll land you and then we'll kind of squeeze you in if we have a little bit on a week, and we'll let you know, right?
Love
So
it.
you're getting to the bottom of things, you're discovering a little more, and you're making it work for all parties while not having to compromise so much, right? And waste your time going out
100%.
there, gas, I have to pay commission on a small job. Like, it just doesn't make sense for everybody.
100%.
Um, but yeah, so the story I had is basically a client who had a really, really stubborn client, right? Or a lead. And he's out at the estimate and he already showed up a little late. But I mean, that happens. It's construction, right? So he was
Mhm.
on a job. Now he's there and the client's like just super short. After he already apologized like 3 times, it's like he's a professional guy, so he's super professional, and he's going through it, and she's just not giving him anything, right? And he's asking all the questions. He's like, hey, how long have you been at the house? Blah, blah. And she's like, the last painter didn't ask me that. And like just not giving him anything.
Oh man.
So he called me up and he's like, hey, and I just want to run this by you because, this really never happens. And he's like, I'm dealing with this. And I don't know if it's just me being late, but like something really triggered her or it's just who she is or whatever. And he said at the end, I basically just said, hey, I don't think this is going to be a great fit, ma'am. It looks like you're, I don't know, frustrated, whatever. And they parted ways. And she was like, oh, you're so unprofessional. And I told him, like, look, the way I operate in these gray areas is based on my values, right? One of my
Mhm.
values is teamwork. If you're not willing to work with us as a team to figure out what we got to do here, we can't work together. So I said, I would have done the same exact thing. You can't
Wow.
let somebody be like that when that's going to be bad for your guys. That's going to be bad
Mhm.
for your overall kind of company if it does go sour. So nip it in the butt, get rid of it. And it's like one of those things that you did what you needed to do. And you can't let this person who may be going through something kind of ruin that for you. I don't know how you would have dealt with that.
I honestly, I preach that also, right? Like I have stories even from when I first started in sales. I did an awesome. I thought I did an awesome tour at this gym, and I was 21 years old at that time, and my GM ends up closing it, but I didn't, and it was a very valuable lesson that I learned. It was a family of 5. I thought I was doing a great job, and the guy literally just flat out told me he just didn't like me.
Mm,
He's like, "Hey man, you did a great tour and all that stuff." He's like, I just wasn't vibing with you. And I was
right.
like, wow. And I took offense to that, right? I was like, dude, like everybody likes me. But here's the reality, right? I teach my teams all the time, dude. Sometimes you probably just don't look good that day. I don't know.
Mm,
Maybe that's a vibe you're giving. That's okay. So when I started learning that at a young age, I do also teach that sometimes it could be the person. Maybe you guys just aren't vibing. That's
yeah.
okay, right? It's just business. So people buy from people they trust. And if they didn't feel that off the get, that's just what it is. Or maybe they just had a bad day, but you don't want to put your people in an uncomfortable situation either. So that's where discernment comes in, and which is a good word for that.
Great
You
word.
have to be able to discern, where's this project going to go? Am I willing to risk this for my team?
Yeah.
And what's the opportunity cost on here as well on the financial side? Is it going to cost me more money by taking this person on? Or am I actually going to make more money and deal with better clients?
Yeah.
Right. So that's a deeper conversation, but I like to always tell stories with it.
Yeah, there's guys that will say, well, I would have charged her more. I don't like that way of thinking because it's like, I mean, dude, there's customers that don't matter what you charge. They're going to be a headache. They're going to make you come back. They're going to have a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things that could go wrong whenever you get those red flags instantly that I just like to kind of say, hey, I don't like to ethically raise my prices, without warrant. But that's near here nor there. But yeah, I told him, I said, look, at the end of the day, like you did everything you needed to do. And the good thing is we're just starting up marketing because he knows he has big goals and we need to spend a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, once these leads come in, you're going to be so bougie with what projects you take on.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to have such an abundance. You're going to be like, look, we don't need to work together.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
like 3 more jobs I can land right now. So when you get to that point, it is so, refreshing and a relief that you start to look at things a lot more differently and have way
Mm,
higher standards as well. You're not clinging on to every single opportunity, like I was saying earlier. So,
100%.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. So that was good, man. Two customers. One turned out really, really good. The other, not so much. I actually told somebody recently, one of my clients, dude, I talk to my clients all the time. It's so crazy. We're like boys. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But I told him, I said, like, I'm the best at taking somebody that's borderline pissed and getting them back to like, okay, I like this company again. I'm going to leave you a 5-star review.
Yes.
That's like my superpower. I don't know if I got it from CertaPro with the commercial stuff and just doing it at a high level, or just having that perspective on like, look, I'm willing to face the fact that we might have messed up and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do everything we can above and beyond to make sure it's right, as long as it's fair. I will push back if we're getting taken advantage of, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
humans mess up. Humans make mistakes. If we make a mistake, that's okay. We run towards it, but you have to be fair on the back end. I'll get beat up. You can vent. I'll be on the phone listening to you for 20 minutes about how we messed up. But as soon as we go and make a way forward and fix it, I need you to be on the same page with me. You're not going
Facts.
to be treating our guys any type of way or me, because that's not respectful,
I love that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah, I'm big on that because I remember when I worked for Verizon selling phones, my manager stood up for me. I'd never seen this before, but I had a guy who was like, this is my first sales job, right? So I'm in there and raw, and I'm doing good. This guy comes in, he's grilling me, he's talking like all crazy to me, and my manager gets up and he's like, "Get out my store." He's like, "You're not going to talk to our guys like that." That was like the first leadership I've ever seen in a company that I was
Yes.
so impressed with, because I was used to painting. I was used to somebody coming in, what is this? What is that? You got to fix that. You guys are shitty at your job. And the guy's just like, yep, I'll fix it. No problem. Don't worry about it. This is the first time somebody was like, oh, hell no.
Mhm. Oh
So,
yeah, man. Yeah, it's well, it says a lot about your leadership too, right? When you were saying you're setting expectations, you're saying we'll do this as a win-win as long as we're fair. But I think that's what comes out. You notice how you've been saying, and I'm highlighting this just in case people aren't understanding what you've said. You
yeah,
said ethical, which means you have principles and you make decisions based off principles. Then you said, hey, like I'm okay to take the beating, but this has got to be fair. It's got to be a win-win. That's the difference. It's all leadership, right? And you're showing your leadership to them. And I think that's why you're able to just calm them down so much, because you're just influencing the client. And then the cool part is that other people are watching. So your employees
yeah,
get to see that. And that's getting passed down to them now. So, dude, that's awesome, brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to always go to bat for my guys. And if I feel a little off, like I remember texting my guy because they were saying that we didn't prime or something like that. And my guy's like, Aiden, I did this, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I got your back, but just know you can't even have people questioning this stuff going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to go bat for you this time. But I'm like, if it pops up again, man, we're going to have a second conversations about what's happening. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's funny.
Love that.
Cool. Moving on. So I want to talk about also kind of thinking bigger. And this will be
Ooh.
maybe the last topic we talk about. But in my opinion, I really think, and this might be a money problem for guys, right? I don't know. I'm not in their shoes. But I think that we need to start thinking a little bit bigger about how we operate the business and raising the standards. So it's like kind of aligned with that, job price minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand you might be in a pinch. You're trying to keep your guys busy. It's a small job. It seems convenient. But I promise you every single time, playing small will always cost more, right? And I think about it for
Yes.
realtors. Think about it for realtors because they're the best example. The best and biggest realtors focus on the best and biggest deals, right?
Yep.
The rookies, the ones that stay not getting any commission, they're working on like rental properties, right? Oh, I want to place somebody for $1,100 a month and I make $100 off of it. the more you spend your time, because you got to spend your time somewhere. The more you spend your time chasing these smaller things like smaller jobs, customers that don't respect you, or maybe going an hour and a half for an estimate, the more you will put yourself in situations to lose money, have headaches, run your team to the drain, and want to quit this business.
Yep.
It's the reality of it. We have to be thinking bigger. When I was with Tanner Mullen, he gave me the best advice, right? So we were talking numbers, talking business, and it's just when I started this Florida location and I told him how much I was spending on marketing. He didn't even think twice. He didn't ask any questions on numbers. He didn't know what we were doing or how we were doing it. He said, double your marketing.
Yeah.
Just how he thinks. It's just how he's wired.
Yep.
But it is the best advice he gave me because now we are reached out to you. We're getting on with other marketing platforms, right? That worked for you. And that's how we're able to sustain incoming work and continue to weed through these small little jobs to try and get those big behemoths. And when we get them, it pays for everything in tenfold, right?
Love that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I have a quote for you on that one.
Mm.
And it's probably not the exact one, but it says something along the lines, trying to save money on marketing is like stopping time to save time, like stopping the clock to save time. Like the one thing that I've learned in business is more money in marketing. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I do over time when you build a brand, I do try to teach people how to save in that sense because of your branding purposes. But if you're trying to grow and scale, you got to grow the spend to scale, right? And there's people that are they think too small about it. They're just like, well, I don't know. I want to hold on to another $1,000 or another $2,000. I'm like, dude, you need to throw it in like a casino. Go all in, make it happen. Yeah. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to close those big jobs. It's going to happen faster. You're going to be excited you made the decision. Because if you do this for 3 more months and keep saying, I wish I did, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you just got to do it. You just have to go for it. Every single time I bet on myself, every single time that I put more money into something else, even if it wasn't a good decision, I still learned from it and it got me there quicker.
Yeah.
It's just the way of life.
Dude,
so
that's the mindset shift that I've had over the last few years, right? I remember, and I might have said this before, but I remember I used to get calls and messages of people, hey, Aiden, I could help you make an extra $10K a month if you just invest in this weird niche marketing system that gives you consistent results or you don't pay. What do you think? Before, delete, spam, blocked, report, whatever it was. Now, I'm open to it. Right. Some are spam, like for sure. But there's some where it's like, well, you need to sell somehow, right? These guys need to get some type of clientele somehow. And this is their way of doing it. DMs, email, cold call. Perfect example. I'm in my truck just chilling after an estimate and I get a call and it's like, hey, this is Jack over at Anytime Fitness. I'm like, hey, Jack. He's like, I'm calling painters because we're trying to advertise on our TVs that we got newly installed. And it's $600 for 6 months. You'll be our only painter, exclusive to you. You'll be up there. And I'm like, okay. Before me would have been like, Jack, appreciate, stop calling me, take me off your list, boom. Yeah. But now I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good investment. 6 months, $600. I mean, I could land one job and be good, right? Yeah. And I'm like, that's probably going to happen. So I discovered a little more, and it turns out that it was like a super niche gym. Like, I mean, he said there was like 20 guys that go a day, like just like really small. So I'm kind of like, all right, maybe this isn't the best gym for me, but I'm open to the idea, right? Like if he would have said, hey, we have 150, 100 guys in there. Okay, now we're talking. But it's like one of those things. I broke it down. I discovered more. I was open to it. And then I made my decision, right?
I love that you said that. Because you're imagine if you lost an opportunity there, you made like 50 grand off $600. You never know, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we just recently we sponsored a pageant, like a local, it was like the Silver Spurs Arena. You know, those arenas have like thousands of people. And like those are the clientele I'm going for, like horse riding, those type of people, right? They got a little bit of money. So I'm like, all right, I'm in. I don't care what it costs. Give me a full page. So these are the kind of things that opened my mind and made me think a little bigger. And it kind of ties into what we're talking about here.
I love it, dude. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. And I do think it's important that, guys, we have to make some money, right? Like however you can. And I tell guys sometimes too, like you may want to work for a company for a little bit. I think given your situation, you got some debt, you got some things going on, you may not have the best leadership skills. Go learn from a company, make 70, 80K, be their PM. You don't have to do it by yourself. if you're
Mm-hmm.
struggling. Give yourself some room for a year or two. The world's not gonna, you're not gonna miss the boat if you dial in for 2 years. You're gonna learn a lot. That's what I did. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a great experience. You're gonna make some money, and then you're gonna have some wiggle room to say, okay, now I got some money to where I can invest in this business and know, all right, I'll put this amount aside for marketing, this amount aside for shirts and signs. I'll go ham for 6 months to a year, see what happens, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Set yourself up for success. I know a lot of guys are like, dude, I barely make anything, but I'm still doing this. And I'm like, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah. I agree, man. Here's the craziest part is like, I want to open everybody's mind when you said go big, right? The second location I did, I put $5,000 into marketing. That was it. I was like, we're not doing anything. I'm not putting $1 on a piece of equipment. In fact, I didn't even have a website yet. I went right into $5,000. I went straight to Angie. At the time, it was called the man. What was that one?
Home advisor?
They got bought out.
Okay.
But it was a super craft jack. That's what it was
Jack,
called.
got it.
Craft jack. It was like $35 a lead. I was like, bet. Put $5,000 in that, and we did $1.2 million that year. So it's like the mindset behind that. Once we put the $5,000 into the marketing and we made more money, we just doubled that and then doubled it and then boom.
Yeah.
That's what we did. So, everybody, you have to think about that kind of stuff, right? It's like, just go all in if you have it and you can make it happen, do it. And like, even just what you just said, Aiden, like if you have to work full-time job and that's just the situation you're in, then so be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But save that money and invest in marketing, get that thing going, boom, create your business.
And I was
hire Aiden.
Dude, I was on a sales call actually with somebody, and he goes, hey, these other programs, they do other things. There's door to door, there's commercial stuff out there. He's like, what do you do? He's like, how can you guarantee my success? And what's your marketing thing? And he's like, dude, where should I spend my money with you? Like, what do you preach? And I said, well, it depends, right? That's a nuanced question, because think about it. What may work for somebody else's area and type of business may not work for yours. I got guys doing 100K alone on Angie. I got guys killing it on Yelp. I got guys killing it on, magazines,
Facebook or
whatever.
Google, everything.
We need to test, number one, look at the competitiveness of your market and where people are spending their money, right? Like we just did the analysis for my area, and the cost per lead was super low for that platform that we went with. So it's like, how can I sit down, go through maybe 2, 3, 4 proposals from guys giving me some data, and then make my decision? Maybe reach out to local people, right? So I get to be that second brain, or you get to be that second brain to say, hey, let's kind of look back at a high level and see, maybe we test this out because it gives us the best potential right where you're at. And then in 3 months, we reassess, see what works. If it doesn't, we switch.
Yep.
We have to go through that as well. And I think that's an important thing. You don't want to just put your money anywhere, but doing something is way better than doing nothing, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Cool, man. Well, this is a good one. You got a quote for us, bro?
I'm going to go back to that one earlier, right? And I think I figured it out. It's like, stopping marketing, right? So not saving, but stopping marketing to save money is like stopping the clock to save time. That's what
Beautiful.
It was. Something along that lines.
Love it.
So, let's go.
All right, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. Got some value. Go like, subscribe, Paint Your Path podcast, YouTube, Instagram. I think Joel's launching a new podcast.
I am. The Mercado Theory. It's going to be
Mercado Theory.
All mindset. And I'm going to say it to you guys first. Guess who my first interview is going to be?
Who?
It's your boy.
Who's my boy? I don't know.
Alex.
No way.
Yeah.
Shut up. That is going to smash, bro.
And we're going to do a long form one. So Alex reached out to me. I'm super excited. So I wanted to say it on the pod right now. Dude, It's going to be absolutely amazing. So super excited.
Dude, I can't wait for that, dude. That's going to be an amazing one, man. All right. Well, you heard it here first.
Yes,
so can't wait, man. Proud of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.